Hello! Hello to everybody aboard Rogue Ship One. It is good to see you. I hope that you're all having a great day so far. Wow, things are way too loud in my ears. I'm just going to adjust my local volume. But hi, everybody. I hope things are going well-ish. Hello to, of course, hi, Siri Bot. I should do this. And Puddleglum, hello to you there in Worklurk Land. And Shadows of Life, hello. It is good to see you. Of course, as always, I have followed the reminder to turn on captions. So yay. Pretty witchery. The Santa hats were fun. But yeah, I don't think there are bunny ears. And that doesn't honestly surprise me now that I know that the company that makes those, the company that I'm still using because I just have not had the energy to change, but also because if you, there are reasons, but it is called Stream Elements, and it is an Israeli company apparently. Which I will say, I don't really want to get into all of that on my channel, but stop slaughtering innocent people in a genocide. Just because somebody tried to do it to you once in the past doesn't mean you get to do it now. Sorry, I'm adjusting the camera because my chair wants to sit here, and until I get a new floor mat, I need to adjust to where the chair is. But what did GaryCon try to do to you? But yeah, I don't see an Israeli company putting bunny ears in, unless people screamed at them to do it. Anyway, hi Tantarlus, hi Sterling. There it is. See, if you say goodbot to SiriBot, it replies with a heart. It is a good bot. It helps protect us from spam in chat. They also don't do Christmas though. But Santa hats. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Greetings from the Helios system. Awesome. That's the setting you've been working on? That's amazing. Wait, did they not update their stream info so it says they're doing ward rats? Because they should not be doing ward rats today. That's tomorrow. I mean, oh no, it's updated now to Magic the Gathering preview. But I can understand the heart attack. And sorry, my sinuses are just like always. So if I'm clearing my throat, it's because I'm slightly dehydrated because I overslept and my medicines dehydrate me and I haven't had time to fully hydrate. As we progress, it should get better. The background sounds like an increasingly menacing carousel ride. I mean, you're not wrong. It's the soundtrack to the game. Oh, there's one thing I haven't done that I'm supposed to do before starting and I just didn't get to, so let me do it real quick.
Well, that's all right then.
Oh my gosh. Did it work the first time? Did you all hear that? What? Tantarlus, is it your birthday today? Can we get some birthday love in the chat for Tantarlus? Oh, tomorrow. Well, I'm not live on Sundays anymore, so can we get some birthday love in the chat for Tantarlus? Happy birthday. I don't have cake. The best I could do to celebrate is a lifesaver or a Rolo. I have failed. However, bit of advice. If you pop in on Stephen Joy's channel when he is live tomorrow and let him know that it's your birthday, he will eat cake for you. He has a whole banner that shows up at the top that says happy birthday, and he'll light a candle and put it in a little cake and blow out the candle for you and eat the cake. It is well worth doing. He'll also put on whatever tiny hat you want, as long as it exists. It goes live. I don't know what the hours are for him. I know what they are for me. He's live from 10 a.m. Eastern until 2 p.m. Eastern. But he's in the UK. I don't know what the hours are for him. They're like 5 hours ahead of that. So what? That'd be like 3 to 7 his time? I don't know. I say this also, I'm giving a shout out to Stephen Joyce, who is a great inspiration of mine. Absolutely wonderful streamer. The transition that I use with the little rainbow lines that cross over, he made that. He has a wonderful community over there. Wears tiny hats. Tomorrow they're doing a multiplayer power wash simulator, washing Warhammer 40k things. So it should be a good time. So if you're up at those hours, I encourage you to go and have him eat cake for you. One Ward Rats episode for your birthday. Think what you do with your last Rolo? Is that a reference to an ad that I don't remember? Yeah, I have Rolos. And I go out of my way to get hard lifesavers. My grocery store does not typically have hard lifesavers. I have to go to a different grocery store to get them. They only have the mint hard savers. Otherwise, all they have are gummy candies. They don't have hard fruit candies. All they have are gummy candies, and I don't understand. Where are the hard candies? I need the crunch. I need gummies do not satisfy my need to stim with my mouth. Anyway, that was the go-to slogan of them in the 90s. I don't remember that, but that's fun. Why are they individually wrapped? Which ones? Both of them are individually wrapped because the lifesavers, yeah, I'm showing product on screen. Hashtag not sponsored. This is the share size bag. And this is this is also a bag that you're meant to share with other people. I just buy them and eat them over time until they're gone. You just realized that you're eating lifesavers? Hey, lifesavers are great. Pretty Witchery! Congratulations on being randomly selected as a VIP for this stream. Enjoy your diamond and the ability to have some regular benefits without, even if Moobot doesn't consider you a regular. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes before Moobot decides that you're a regular viewer. Special for one day. Exactly. Which ones only ever came in rolls? Lifesavers used to come in rolls. Rolos used to come in rolls. Nope, they come in bags now. You can get, here in the US, you can get Starburst, which, oh shoot, what were Starburst in the UK? Something fruits. I can't remember. But anyway, the like Starburst come in a bag like that in a smaller size than normal, like a quarter the size, and unwrapped. Starburst left the country? They're not in Australia at all? That's amazing. Rolo comes in a block? That seems strange. Apparently, I'm now annoyed because in the UK, the standard Starburst flavors are strawberry, orange, lemon lime, and black currant. And I wish I had black currant Starburst. And strawberry. I mean, come on. We have orange, lemon, strawberry, and cherry. But yeah, I would prefer black currant to cherry personally. We don't tend to get black currant flavored things in the US because we don't get black currants in the US because of the timber industry. Place taps for Starburst. I thought those were UK Skittles. No, it's something like Mellow Fruits or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, you mean those flavors? I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, in the US, we also have something that I prefer to Starburst that are also available nowhere. Like all of the candy that I like and want are not available anywhere, which is probably a good thing. But we have a candy called Now and Later that I much, much prefer over Starburst. Starbursts start out soft. Now and Later start out hard and get soft. So they last longer. And I prefer Now and Laters. I also like Runts. But I can't get Runts anywhere. I much like oh shoot, I forgot the name of them. Hello brain, come on. Maltesers. Maltesers are a class above Whoppers. And for a very, very, very short time, 7-Eleven had Maltesers. But now they don't. Oh, you used to have the black currant, but now you get the American flavors. That's sad. What flavor? Do you have black currant lifesavers? More importantly, here in the US, the best season is upon us. Cadbury eggs! Oh, where'd they go? Aha! Indeed. I have my Cadbury cream eggs. I allowed myself one box. That said, Cadbury in the US at least is releasing eggs for various holidays now. They do Halloween ones that the filling is dyed green. I don't know what other holidays, but basically they're available year round now. But you're taking note for things to bring back from spring break, Sterling? That would be amazing. The other thing, oh, hot take, German sweets are the best, indeed. The other thing that is basically not available in the US is the best kind of M&M. Oh my God, Shadows. That is a really good picture of Link. Why are we posting it? Was that just a test? Your blood is part Ritter. We can get Ritter Sport here. We have an international grocery that stocks them. Maltesers, aren't those the droppings of a falcon? The baubles? Pretty Witchery, you are correct. The best kind of M&M, crispy M&Ms. Basically not available in the US anymore. Yes, you can post a link in chat, Shadows. I don't know. Like, these are actual, like, eggs. And they open up. Like, it's a chocolate shell with liquefied fondant inside. It was a pun? Oh, I totally missed it. Yes, Elixir. We get a very limited selection of Ritter Sport. My husband lived in Germany when he was in school, like in grade school. And yeah, he tells me about the great things available over there. I actually went to Aldi at Christmas time to get him the ginger cookie things. Oh God, that we had on the cookie stream, Elixir. Why is my brain today is apparently not wanting to supply me with words? Lebkuchen. It was Lebkuchen. Ketchup flavored Pringles. I'm not a huge flavored chip person. I prefer, but that's, I like, in a lot of cases, I like just the pure natural flavor of foods. So I prefer potato chips to taste like potato. I prefer my fish to taste like fish and not like lemon. But then again, if you sprinkle any lemon on my fish, all I will taste is the lemon. So that could have something to do with it. I don't know. Oh, the non-Easter ones you get are baubles, like truffles, spheres. Oh, no, our non-Easter ones are also egg-shaped. Remind me to send you the good snacks. Hey, that would be great. Chat, if you were not aware, Rogan has feelings on lemon and mint. I mean, I love mint. York peppermint patties were one of my favorite candies. I wish I could eat them. Thin mints, amazing. I mean, technically I can eat them. I just have to put up with 24 plus hours of my tongue itching. All the way down. Did you know that your tongue does not end at the back of your mouth? Your tongue goes all the way down. And if I eat mint, mine will itch for a day or more. All the way. I know, it's an allergy. And I have, like, I think my dentist has like 5 different places on my chart. No mint dental products. And still, whenever I get a new dental hygienist, they inevitably use mint dental floss. And my tongue itches for a day. If any fruit that isn't a pepper is spicy, that's an allergy. I didn't know that. I've never experienced any fruit that isn't a pepper as spicy. As a kid, I hated eating mustard, so my mom thought it would be a great way to stop you biting your nails. Now you love mustard! As a kid, I loved peanut butter and chocolate together, and I ate Butterfinger so much that I can't stand peanut butter and chocolate together anymore. Like, I literally would eat no other candy but Butterfinger, and now I can't stand peanut butter and chocolate together. Which, now that I think on it, makes total sense for somebody with ADHD. I same fooded for so long that now I don't want it. People seem to think that things like mango are spicy. Ooh, a self-care. Sure. Crunchy peanut butter and Nutella. See, I don't think that would work for me. Because of the chocolate and the Nutella. I would try it, but it wouldn't be like something I would terribly enjoy. Desperately miss 2000's shipping prices. I desperately miss 2000's grocery prices. Groceries are so expensive now. So many threads where people are like, I don't like mango, it's spicy. Really? Kiwi's amazing! Captain Future. Why am I blanking on Captain Future? Oh, gosh. Wow, brain. I have only watched the first 4, I think. Because they were on the Internet Archive, the link that I linked. I haven't had time to watch more. I do have it bookmarked. What I need to actually just see if I can buy it through iTunes, because then I would actually watch it. Oh my gosh, look, it's Stephen Joyce. Hi, Stephen Joyce. Welcome back for 32 months. How was your stream today? I totally slept through the entire thing. And I felt terrible about it because I missed Superliminal and I missed Stephen Joyce. I'm sad because like the one stream that I was able to consistently make for the whole time was Monday. And now you don't get to do Mondays anymore, which is not your fault, but I just need to make more effort to get up on the weekends. Hey, yeah, Pretty Witchery's right. We were just saying we love you before. I'm not surprised that I slept through. I was on a new medication. I can't do another shout out for you for another 44 minutes? That's unfair. I'm the streamer. I should be able to shout you out as many times as I want. Follow Stephen Joyce. So as you all know, I have been trying to get things in order with regard to medication because, wow, let me tell you, having ADHD and comorbid depression and anxiety and all that stuff, it's super fun to mess with your brain when trying to treat. We finally dialed in on which antidepressant was effective for me. And the ADHD meds I was on were sort of working. And then I got COVID and then they weren't working anymore at all. Which I looked around and other people have had that experience with that ADHD medication where they got COVID and suddenly it didn't work anymore. So visited the doctor and got switched back to the ADHD medication I was on before, which, oh my God, has been a godsend. It works so good. I'm on Vyvanse again, and Vyvanse is ridiculously great. And you know what? I will deal with the freezing fingers and the painful joints. That's the side effect I get from Vyvanse. I would rather have that than feel like I'm sleepwalking through my life, which is where I was before. So now I've got the Vyvanse and the Prozac, but the Prozac gave me horrible restless leg syndrome to the point where I could not sleep at all. So last night I started a prescription for a medication that's used to treat Parkinson's and restless leg syndrome. And it worked. I was able to lay in bed without involuntary kicking of my legs and this constant nagging feeling that I had to move my limbs. It was so nice. The problem is I haven't been falling asleep before like 4 or 5 a.m. in so long that my body was not ready to sleep. And so I was still up until 4. So I think I have a good combination of medications that are going to work. I just need to adjust my sleep schedule. We're not supposed to sleepwalk through life. You know, I didn't know. I did not know that I was sleepwalking through life until I started taking Vyvanse after getting my ADHD diagnosis. And then suddenly it was like I was awake for the first time ever. And I was angry. I was angry for quite a while because 42 years of my life, I sleptwalked through. And I finally woke up at like 43 years old. And so then this last year where we started an SSRI to deal with a comorbid depression issue. And so basically for like 9 months or so, I have been struggling to get back that sense of being awake. Because the first SSRI put me on a roller coaster of emotions that was literally like, I would go 3 hours really happy and then 6 hours where I couldn't stop crying. And yeah, we switched me off that one pretty quick. The next one, it took me, I don't know, 5 months or so to notice that I was in a brain fog the entire time and had no emotions at all. So then we got me switched to the Prozac, which treated the problem, but gave me the restless leg issue. But at the same time, I had been feeling like my ADHD meds weren't working. And so the doctor changed me from Vyvanse to a generic Concerta. And I was like, well, the Concerta definitely is not as beneficial as the Vyvanse was, but I'll try it. Like I took it and I was like, yeah, it sort of works, I guess. But then I got COVID and the Concerta wasn't working anymore. And so now I'm back on the Vyvanse and it works and the Prozac works. And so now I just need to get my sleep schedule adjusted because this stuff apparently works to make my restless leg issue quit. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it's going to be like to have controlled depression symptoms, controlled ADHD symptoms, and the ability to sleep. I've never had that in my entire life. It's going to be so weird. My psychiatrist tells me that it is perfectly normal to feel distressed by feeling abnormal because I don't have an emotional crash at night. Because I've spent my entire life basically falling off a cliff at the end of the day and being ridiculously depressed all night, every night. And the Prozac makes that not happen, and it feels weird because it doesn't feel natural. But that's just because I've never known what it's like to not have a massive depressive episode every night. Anyway, yes, we are. There's an ADHD tag underneath my my stream for a reason. Australia can't get enough ADHD meds because our FDA is also the problem here. Honestly, our FDA has or the FBI actually is the problem here because one of the major manufacturers had some slight financial discrepancies and they revoked their licenses to create controlled medications. They can still make all of the non-scheduled medications like Tylenol and stuff like that, but they are prohibited from making the ADHD meds and have been for like 2 years now. Pretty witchery, that makes total sense. I mean, it's, yeah, I agree that it shouldn't be a thing, but I also understand like they're a federal government of the US and they're not going to allow export of medications when there's a shortage here as well. So they're going to make the manufacturers in the country supply those to US customers first. I understand that from a geopolitical like perspective. I don't think it's right, but I understand it. It's your own problem if you over-medicate. Well, I mean, let's be clear. The US medical industry is the reason that over-medication happens. The idea that any medical problem should be solved with a prescription and should be something that can be cured within a couple of days. And the pricing structure that supports that false assumption. That is the reason why all of this is messed up. Is because it's a for-profit industry and not something actually concerned with treating conditions and helping people get better and live better lives. The doctors might have gotten into it and want to help you get better, but they're restricted by a system that requires them to operate in a certain way. And that is dictated by capitalism. Wait, there was a SciShow about this last month? Was that a Sam Delev, There Might Be Science, or was that something else? I don't remember. Anyway, let me do a shout out for Stephen Joyce. I don't understand. Why is that not a setting I can change? Why am I not allowed to do a shout out more than like once an hour? That doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, I am aware of a show called SciShow. I haven't watched it in a while. Ah, okay. So you just meant like the actual like YouTube show SciShow. If you're not careful, you could easily call it Sideshow. Hey, look, a link. I am not playing the audio of this on stream. Oh my gosh. It has Jessica McCabe in the episode. She is an excellent guest to talk about this issue. Oh, I need to bookmark this. Honestly, when I got my diagnosis, I watched all of Jessica McCabe's YouTube channel. It's called How to ADHD, and I learned so much. And I cried most of the time because it was it was talking about things that I have done my entire life that I just berated myself for and thought that I was just weird or incapable or just I had such a negative opinion of myself because of these specific things. And watching her channel, I so many more things. Like I had from just watching Eric and watching him talk about ADHD, and funnily enough, like 2 years before that, a coworker asked me if I had ADHD because she did, and she was curious if I did, based on the way our interaction was going, and I was like, no. And then I watched Eric, and I was like, oh wait, you're saying that's part of ADHD? Well, that's me, and that's me, and that's me, and that's me, and that's me. And then I got my diagnosis and watched How to ADHD, and I was like, oh my God, like every aspect of my entire life that I thought was just weird, or that I just wasn't trying hard enough, or that I was just incompetent or incapable. We're all ADHD. I was mad and I cried a lot. How to ADHD follows you around the internet even though you never looked anything up. Wait. Oh, did she have a baby 2 days ago? Oh my gosh. I love how many brain stories go like that. Age as if, nah, that's not me. Then suddenly, wait a minute. Oh, Tantaralis, thank you for coming by. I'm sorry that you didn't get any gameplay, but it was good to see you. Okay, I probably should actually like bring the game up at some point. I never knew. I knew one kid in school with ADHD. I remember there was this one kid named Jeremy. And I just remember that we were told, like the rumor was, I don't know who told us or who started the rumor or who, but we knew that he was on like ADHD medication, and he had more acne and was aggressive, like, and it was not, I don't know, they were treating him, but they were using I don't remember, but it basically, because that sounds like steroids, but he wasn't actually on steroids, he was on ADHD meds, but that was my conception of what it was. That was the only experience I had with it. I knew nothing. I didn't really know anybody that had it. And so then when suddenly I had, like, was looking at, I was like, but wait, this is me. All of these things, these are me. This is my life. These are all the weirdnesses of me. You're saying that's ADHD? It was very frustrating to know that if, you know, maybe if I'd had treatment or counseling or somebody had told me strategies for living my life with that condition, what would my life have been? It's relief of diagnosis followed by this anger at, well, what did I lose? What could have been? Finally getting around to, but I'm okay with what I have. Like, yeah, I can be annoyed with, you know, what could have been, but actually I kind of like what I have. So does it matter what could have been? Other than that, I probably would have a lot less debt and would quite possibly be further along in my career than I am now if it hadn't taken me 11 years to finish an undergraduate degree, followed by 2.5 years for a master's degree, before finally getting started in my career. Pretty Witchery, do not bother to berate yourself about that. We'll get it done. Like some sort of how-to for ADHD. Exactly. Yeah, like and the thing is, the clues were there, but nobody noticed them. Except for apparently my older brother, who when I told him that I had ADHD said, oh yeah, I knew. And I was like, well, why the heck didn't you tell me? Because apparently my niece has it. Anyway. Yeah, I have a lot of that. Yeah, thanks, bro. All right, I'm trying to check in on where we are. We just came into Olympus Mons. We were talking to Marie Curie. Objectives. I don't know what I'm doing. This is great. Right. We have all this stuff that we need to do at Elysium. Get the mother load. Right. We're working on trying to get the electricity working. I need to talk to Mr. Carnegie about the space cannon while we're here. And I need to get Trippet to fix the conveyor belt. That's where we are. Also, I should probably put down the radium because as you can tell from my red hit points, it's killing me. You need an adultier adult? Why do you need that? Your sister got diagnosed with AUDHD. So what are the chances that you're wrong? This is true. It is typically apparently hereditary. And when I was telling my mom about it, she's like, oh yeah, that's probably me. It's probably my mom that has it. And she said, and you know, probably her dad. But it wasn't like in my mom's day, they definitely would never have looked at it, especially for a girl. And then in her dad's day, again, never ever would have come up. Whereas when I was a kid, it's kind of, oh, let me get this radium. It hurts me. Can I put the radium in the lead box? Yes. Now I can carry the radium without killing myself. I probably was meant to use the tongs. They're laying right there. I was probably supposed to use them, wasn't I? Also, going back at least 3 generations, my family has done what my aunt calls fruit salad speech, jumping from topic to topic and back again in discussion. Oh, yeah, that's totally a thing that happens. Also, like one of the first things I talked to my therapist about when I finally went in, again, prompted by watching 16-Bit Eric and having him actually talk about going to get therapy. And I was like, you know, I'm supposed to do this. I was diagnosed with depression years ago. I'm supposed to be in therapy, but I haven't done it in forever. And so I went, and one of the first things I talked to her about was my tendency over time, like my feeling over time of how I never knew who the heck I was because I was always conforming to whatever group I was with. I was mirroring the people around me. And that was all the time. So I didn't know, like, I was like, well, what is my personality? Because I'm always fitting in with whichever group I'm around. And it's a total ADHD thing. It's just, but I didn't know that. Many frustration. Shit like this is how Chernobyl happens. All right, so we've got Captain Trippet and ammunition in a building there. Jack Siegel in, are notes on or off? Notes are off, so you've got the map, okay. Jack Siegel, Legrand Couillard, Marie Curie, Nathaniel Peters. Nathaniel Peters, is that one of the people whose bios we get? Because I don't remember that name. Who's Nathaniel Peters? I mean, we can talk to him and find out, but they tend to be historical figures, and I don't recognize that name. We've got Admiral Robert Peary, Sarah Bernhardt, Thomas Edison, Theodore Roosevelt, William Randolph Hearst. Hi, E-Money Economist. Thank you for the follow. So yeah, of all of these names, the only one I don't know is Nathaniel Peters. So it would be good to find out. Oh gosh, points of interest are marked on here. Dead man with camera, Axiom. West stairs to tunnel, east stairs to tunnel, mine entrance, dream machine, space cannon barrel. All right. I honestly think that neurodiversity is a lot more common than even doctors want to admit. Probably. Hi. Yeah, we're playing Worlds of Ultima 2 Martian Dreams, which is a game from 91. Hang on. I don't even remember my commands. Kira, help. Thank you, Kira. Wow. I blanked on what my command was. It's been so long. 91. And the premise of the game is oh gosh, how to explain Martian Dreams. We're on Mars. We got to Mars on a rocket ship. It's the 1800s, and we were sent up to save people from an earlier expedition that was launched from the World's Fair in Chicago without meaning to be. Like, it launched early, and a bunch of like famous people were on board, and so then we're part of a mission that was sent up to find them and bring them back. So the 1893 expedition included Sarah Bernhardt, Buffalo Bill Cody, Calamity Jane Carnegie, George Washington Carver, Marie Curie, all these famous people. And then on our rescue mission is the player character, Nikola Tesla, Sigmund Freud, Dr. Blood, who's a total snake oil salesman, and Nellie Bly. And it's based on a Mars that is conformant with Percival Lowell's conception of Mars as having canals. So yeah, it's actually fun. The historical information is about the people is generally accurate, except for like CL Blood is inaccurate, but was accurate based on the knowledge known about him at the time. And basically you get to explore the entire surface of Mars, except that it's a Mars where there was a Martian civilization made of plant people, that part of our current quest involves helping them so that they can grow new plant bodies to transfer their consciousnesses out of people, so that we can free the people that are at Elysium Mons, who are currently their bodies are being occupied by the minds of Martian plant people. Yeah, Mars and time travel. Launched early by accident, like the community KFC experience. Yes, this is before Kim Stanley Robinson. Although the Mars trilogy is amazing. Highly recommend Kim Stanley Robinson's Mars trilogy. Okay, so this, I'm using the clue book because why not? I have it. It came with the game. I got this from GOG. Our main discovery on Olympus Mons was the body of that poor man with the camera. We haven't found it yet. Near a large herd of vicious proto-Martians. Oh dear. It says we're going to need the camera, though. The residents of Olympus were among the most important assets on our journey. Mr. Segal, the leader of the colony, was able to direct us to the correct person for almost any task. It seemed as though everyone in the town contributed some useful skill before our labors were over. So we're going to need to talk to everybody. Which is totally in keeping with how this game typically goes, how the Ultima series is. Basically, you need to talk to everybody. Wait. What? Oh. Ooh. Oh. I wonder. I just picked up radium, but I took radiation damage, and just putting the radium in the iron box has not healed it. Let me use the oxygenated air bottle. Well, that gave me the hit points back, but I still... So if I put down the... I might have a problem. Oh dear. Well, I'm suffering from radiation poisoning and do not know how to fix it in the game. Fine, we'll figure it out. There is an automated ad break coming up. Mubot is going to play some ads because it will get rid of pre-rolls for people coming in, and because the Twitch is going to have ads played one way or the other, and this way gets me more of the money. So for 3 minutes, we will have some ads playing, and we'll take a break. And yeah, it's a good time for self-care. So I will see you all in a couple of minutes. Hello and welcome back. I hope that you all had a good break and were able to step away during the ads, because I would prefer they not play at all, but I don't control the platform. Just like I don't control when it will let me do another shout out for Stephen Joyce. Nope. It's easier to do a shout out for Stephen Joyce. No, I didn't mean to pin that. It's easier to do it if I hit the right punctuation. 11 more minutes. Okay. Clearly I am just slightly distractible. I did during the break. Also I'm supposed to stretch because there was a self-care routine. I found the answer to how to get rid of the radiation poisoning in the clue book, because useful clue book. Blueberries. I don't think I have any. Ooh, I do. You eat a Martian berry. You feel a strange sudden flush, dizziness, and nausea. But, like, the blueberry took away some hit points. But I am no longer suffering from radiation poisoning. Let's remember, when picking up radium chips, that it is best practice to use the tongs instead of picking up the tongs after the radiation, the radium chip. Yeah, okay, so Olympus Mons and City. I should explore. We got a fountain. This should be LC. Yes, I'm dizzy. Oh gosh, I'm dizzy. So when I move in a random direction. Demon Core vibes? Is Demon Core a game? I now reveal my ignorance. No. What is Demon Core? I would love to know. You see a haggard man with a faraway stare. State your business, sir. You notice his eyes are red from crying. I mean, there are literal tears coming from his eyes in the illustration. So, oh, okay. Demon Core was this. Oh gosh. Oh yes. Okay. Wow. Completely different domain of knowledge. My brain was in games, and this is science. Sphere of plutonium, involved in 2 fatal radiation accidents when they tested it as a fissile core on early atomic bomb. I did know about this. It was just like, it's the fuck around and find out sphere. Yeah. It's just that my brain was in the entirely wrong domain of knowledge, so did not make the connection. Okay. Well, first Mr. Crying Man. What is your name? Le Grand Antoine Couillard. Couillard? Couillard. I took 1 year French in 8th grade. I can identify that it should be French, but don't ask me to pronounce it correctly. All right, so we're gonna ask him some questions and find out what he says, which is honestly a lot of this game. First, what's your job? Seagal makes me guard the dream machine. He looks towards Olympus Mons. But I wish. That's more of a German to English pronunciation. Anyway, but I wish I could search for my brother. Perhaps you could help me. Yeah, I'm mangling this accent. That's fine. I would have to practice. French is not one that I can stick in very easily. Sometimes I'll get stuck in Irish, the stereotypical Irish accent. And once I got stuck in Down East Maine. That was fun. I am sorry. I can't let you in, sir. It's smashed beyond repair anyway. He pauses as if a new thought had just occurred to him. He continues in a lower tone of voice. But I am very worried about my brother. If you can find him for me, I will let you in to see the machine despite Seagal's orders. Ah. Find the brother. Gain access to Olympus Dream Machine. This is good to know. Yes. My brother Jean, he is missing. Terrible with accents. The only one I've ever been able to get stuck in was Midlands, UK, Birmingham area. I'm not sure I could even identify that one, but I've moved around a bit in my life, and so that has affected speech patterns a little bit. I mostly grew up in the DC area, and there's not really a very prominent accent common to the Washington DC area. When you get into out beyond the suburbs, then you start to get some Virginia regionalisms, but in DC and in the suburbs themselves, there wasn't a lot. And so mostly I just picked up the accent that my parents had, which was Southwest Iowa, which tends to be seen as a very neutral American accent. I did have a little bit of shading from, well, when I first learned to talk, I talked like I was from the hills of West Virginia because I learned to talk in the hills of West Virginia. But then we moved to Hawaii and I basically lost all of it. And for a while, when I was really little, I talked in very fast Hawaiian pidgin. And then we moved to Virginia and the DC Metro, and I adjusted. And then for a while, I lived in Minnesota for about 9 years. And when I was in Minnesota, I did start to pick up the little Minnesota O's. And occasionally I will slip into those anyway. You sounded like Kylie Minogue or Natalie Imbruglia. Oh dear. I have a tendency, if I'm talking to somebody with a strong, like, Southeast US accent, like a North Carolina or something like that, without intending to, I will slip into that. It'll just happen. When I worked at Wells Fargo and I lived, when I was in Minnesota and was working at Wells Fargo, and they bought Wachovia. What was I was trying to write this down. I need to make sure I don't completely lose the plot. I was on the phone with people from Charlotte, North Carolina, like all the time. And every single time that I had to talk to somebody from Charlotte, I would slip into a Southern accent. Australia doesn't have much regional variation of accents. Are you in Australia? If so, you're not the only person in my chat who is in Australia. Because of your speech impediment, people think you have an accent. That, I mean, accents are accents and everybody talks different, so best I can do is hamming up my Aussie accent when I'm overseas because people in the US, oh, indeed, yes, they do. Yes. Like, people here love an Aussie accent. Brother Jean. You got to pick on South Africa, though. They sound like palms. I am unfamiliar with this. Oh, South Australia. I assumed SA was South Africa, but I don't know what palms is. The British? dance and prance. Interesting. I guess I wouldn't have known. I wish I could do Down East Maine easier because it is such a unique. If you've ever watched Murder, She Wrote, it's the Cabot Cove, what they tried to hit there. And my brother-in-law lives in Down East Maine, and I read a Christmas card from them one time in that accent and got stuck in it for a bit. And it was fun. It was good, but it's hard to get to. They also put their pies in soup. Pretty Witchery is enjoying telling us things. South Australia street food. Australian meat pie in soup. Sold in Adelaide. A meat pie in a thick pea soup. Oh, I would definitely not be trying this. Believed to have been first created in the 1890s, the pie floater gained popularity as a meal sold by South Australian pie carts. In 2003, it was recognized as a South Australian heritage icon. Interesting. The only reason that I would not be trying this is that I do not like pea soup. I like peas just fine, but I've never enjoyed pea soup. Oh, Shadows of Life is practicing their roguish skills by lurking in the shadows. They may be preparing a sneak attack. Hey, today I learned. Exactly, Stephen. I enjoy that I get to learn. Oh, it's funny. Like, I learn as much on these streams as I do on my archive stream on Wednesdays. I should ask about the mines. I was ordered to guard the machine, but Jean was sent in the Olympus mines. Someone should look for Jean, but most everyone is afraid to. He looks at you hopefully. Maybe you? No, you wouldn't be interested, but perhaps. You might not be afraid. Could you look for Jean for me? Yes? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Oh, thank you. I knew there would be someone who would help me. They say there are monsters down there, huge worms that scour the tunnels for prey. Okay. So we just have to find his brother in... Oh, his brother is definitely the body that we saw mentioned in the clue book. It's a thing. Detective Zen, hello. Don't try it because it's an abomination, not because of the soup flavor. See, I mean, the explanation in the Wikipedia article of that it's long been a tradition to have meat in pea soup is totally true. Like, split pea soup with ham is the standard, like, American version of it. And so putting like a ham pasty in a bowl of split pea soup doesn't seem completely out there. Like, I can see the logic. Pies should not be soggy. No soggy bottoms! I was half listening to the conversation when I came in. What was this about a company buying Wakanda? Whoa, what? I don't recall hearing that. Did anybody hear that? My character is still dizzy, so... Oh, good. Finally, I can move in directions. Nope, I'm still dizzy. When I move in a random direction. It's fun. Oh, you're just going with... You missed it? Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I missed it. Or it's probably a joke that went over my head. A cap, a silk scarf, thigh boots, a wool sweater, and denim jeans. If you think that was an abomination, there was one time Pizza Hut down here decided to put meat Meat pies in the crust? I mean, stuffed crust stuffed with cheese, I'm familiar with, but stuffed with meat? I have a confusion. I need to move this lead box. Sherman, you carry it. How do they fit? Full meat pies. We don't even have Pizza Hut here anymore. I'm sad because when I'm sick, all I want is a mushroom and cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. Don't ask. I mean, fine, ask. It was the thing that I did when I would stay home from sick from school. I would order a mushroom and cheese pizza because I don't know. But then now when I get sick, that's all I want. I don't need these clothes. Why did I just pick them up? Everybody's like, none of them are actual armor. So I think we're good because that's just a wool sweater. All right. We're just going to put these back in the bag because I don't need the bag and I don't need the clothes. So that's fine. But at least I got to see what they look like. A sledgehammer, a machete, a saw, a pry bar, and a wrench. Of that, I don't need all of it, but I think there are some tools here that I don't already have. Do I have a sledgehammer or a saw? The others I know I have. Pry bar. Wrench. Hammer. Is this a Martian saw? Yeah. I think we're good without these tools. I'm just gonna toss them. They're here if we need to come back and get them. Meat pies stuffed in pizza crust. Sounds like the worst amalgamation of Australian and Italian. No clothes on Mars. Detective Zen, that just sounds terrifying as a food concoction. Okay. Thank you for the link to the image. It's not as terrifying looking as it sounds, but also, might I ask why? They were so concerned with whether they could. They never stopped to ask whether they should. Oh dear. Oh dear. Domino's and Pizza Hut had both go a bit feral at least once a year on average. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's fine to try things. Sometimes it's horrifying, but ooh, a sack of flour. I don't think I need the flour, but good to know. A sack of grain. Now people are in the way and I just want to look. An empty bucket and nothing. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to sleep before I'm not dizzy anymore. But it's not quite nighttime yet, so I don't want to sleep yet. The ever-present, but I don't want to sleep. That is my life. Hello. Hi. Person with ADHD here who absolutely never, ever ever wants to sleep. Because, well, that's not true. Who only wants to sleep during the day when it's time to be awake? Because when the sun goes down, that's when I'm become most awake. Anyway. Derringer. 25 pistol rounds and 12 matches. Are you sure you're not a vampire? Well, can't say for sure. But I do like blood. All right, Nellie Bly has Derringer ammo. In fairness, people having offset clocks is a thing even without, this is true. Like, what's funny is I say I need to readjust my my clock, but it doesn't need much adjusting to get back to my normal. Oh gosh. Move these to Nellie, because she's supposed to have the Derringer. Because my normal is a body that wants to sleep at 2. So I'm only off by a couple of hours. It'd be lovely if I could go to bed at midnight and fall asleep. But that doesn't happen. If I go to bed at midnight, I still fall asleep at 2. Except that right now, my schedule's off, so I don't fall asleep until like 4-ish. Society just doesn't allow for, yeah. Society does not like it when you don't fully conform. That's an understatement if I ever heard one. Acid and oil. I mean, that sounds like a salad dressing, but why is she carrying them? Why are they not in here? This game is less inventory management than previous ones, but it is still very much inventory management and complicated by the fact that things have weights, but if you examine them, it doesn't tell you how much they weigh. So I never know, like, if something's too heavy for me to pick up, I don't know how much weight I need to shift in order to pick it up. If I go to bed before 2 at any time, I will be awake by 3, if not earlier. Yeah, this just sounds like normality. Normality achieved. 6 torches, and 6 torches. Okay. A candlestick, and a candlestick. Yes, fine. Look in the 3 berries. Ooh, berries! Give me the berries. Berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream. Yes, I did go to that commercial. I don't know how many of you experienced that commercial, but boy, does it get stuck in your head. No, move. This. 9. Is that not a 9? Five. It's a 5. Unfortunately, Eric's schedule means you get up at 5 a.m. now. Hey, when I lived in Minnesota, as much as I liked Minnesota, I was commuting 2 hours each way and had to be at work at 7:30, so I was getting up at 4. And I was in grad school at the same time. I think there's a reason I lost my hair. That's at least work. This is true. Is that a door? It says it's a wall. Oh, it's the outer wall. Just, okay. Spittoon because of the Oxium. talk to... Oh, wow. Does anybody want to predict who it is? You see a broad-shouldered man with an equally broad grin. It looks like Roosevelt. Did you guys ditch daylight savings time? Not as far as I'm aware. We should. We absolutely should, but I don't believe we have. We're on standard time right now, but in what, a week or so, it'll be daylight savings time again, because it's just, we're on standard time from November until March. Robin Williams playing Roosevelt. It's the nephew from Arsenic and Old Lace. Wasn't it nephew? Brother? I don't know. The old ladies had a guy who dug holes in their basement. It's been a long time since I read Arsenic and Old Lace. But he thought he was Teddy Roosevelt. He grips your hand a bit too firmly and pumps it up and down vigorously. I say, good day there. Quite pleased to meet you. Quite. Commissioner Theodore Roosevelt. I usually am addressed as TR, however. I have no idea what accent he's supposed to have. So, Teddy T.R. Roosevelt. The artist did a great job. That is iconic, easily identifiable. Here on Mars, my duties as police official are, as you may imagine, reduced. Well, if my friend was wrong, once we're both switched back over, I'll be getting up at 3 a.m. Oh gosh, pretty. We need to fix that for you. Nonetheless, I am still in the business of solving crimes. In fact, I believe I know who was the culprit that sabotaged our 1893 expedition and caused Mr. Lowell's space cannon to discharge prematurely. Ooh, we can solve a crime? In addition to saving the entire Martian race and rescuing people stranded on Mars. This is a game that keeps on giving. Wait, how do we fix Eric? Who would want to? Fun fact for anybody who didn't know, the name Teddy Bear came from Theodore Roosevelt. Indeed, the name Teddy Bear was inspired by Teddy Roosevelt. Ooh, Shadows of Life has struck from the shadows and landed a critical hit. Great job on your stealthing. Fix the 3 a.m. start time. That would involve Eric. No. I said we needed to fix the 3 a.m. start time, which involves just changing the world so that starting at 3 a.m. isn't a problem. Do we make him hover? Good sir, what are you giggling about? The cannon firing prematurely. Ooh, Stream Fam Island. Yes. Yes. We should all move to Stream Fam Island. This is the thing. I am positive that the Russian holy man Rasputin was the fiend that did this act. I have been able to collect samples of fingerprints in the original expedition's ship. Rah, rah, Rasputin. I also believe that one of Rasputin's troublemakers was behind the destruction of the reflectors used to communicate with Earth. Troublemakers? I mean, reflectors is the key word, but tell me more about these troublemakers. Rah, rah, Rasputin. That's all I remember of the song. Yes, Russian Love Machine. I don't remember any more of the song. Did I ask this already? I don't know. Yeah, that's what I just asked. I know, the fact that we don't all switch at the same time is ridiculous too. Hey, I mean, I don't know what's worse. We have this weird daylight savings time thing. In China, the entire country is one time zone. But it spans geographically what should be 6 or 7. So the people in the west of China, when it is noon, it is basically like still dark outside and the sun hasn't come up yet. About 4 hours worth. Like it's, if you're getting up at 8 a.m. in Western China, it's actually like 4 a.m. Yeah, the whole country is one time zone by law, dictated by the Chinese Communist Party. Newfoundland, Canada is also at a half hour offset. And there are some countries or some parts of the US where half of a city will switch and half doesn't, like Indianapolis. I think it's Indianapolis. I think that's the one. But there are multiples. Queensland just doesn't do daylight savings time. Neither does Arizona. Go west from Queensland to South Australia and go forward 30 minutes. Oh, you gotta love humans. Oh, he's just telling us where the ship was. We already have that coordinate. I'm sure he's the one responsible for launching the space cannon a day earlier than planned and trapping us on Mars. His claim was that visions had driven him to commit his foul deed. But that excuse in no manner absolves him from his crimes and facing justice. Oh, so you're certain because he admitted it. You buried the lead there a little bit. He folds his hands back and his voice takes on the tone of an instructor. Yes, quite. The technique of lifting the fingerprints is a recent addition to the field of criminology developed by Jean Vucetich of Argentina. I have no idea how to say that name. Vucetich. Vucetich? I don't know. No two sets of prints are the same, which provides undeniable evidence of a person's involvement. You're wrong about no two sets of prints being the same. But then there's Broken Hill time and time zones are required. I don't think time zones are required. Except that, like, if you just didn't have time zones, then it would be the same time everywhere, but people would operate at different times of day. So if everything was on Greenwich Mean Time, then if it's noon in Greenwich, it's noon on the East Coast of America, but noon in Greenwich would be midday, and noon on the East Coast of America would be essentially like, what, 7 a.m.? Like sunrise. When we colonize Mars, I vote we just use airy mean time for the whole planet. People just have different hours for their working days, or waking hours is appropriate. Exactly. was and may contain science, and that is when I introduced Sam Delev. Oh, Be Right UK, thank you so much for the 500 bits. I will get to your comment in just a second. That was when I introduced Sam to a new concept of timekeeping. The Swatch beat time. Because they had not encountered that before. Get rid of time completely. I'm sure that wouldn't cause chaos. Remember time zones without name. Exactly, Pretty Richie. I mean, yeah, people would just be operating at different times of day, but it does make complications because right now with time zones, you can adjust. But honestly, before time zones were established, each town was a few minutes different. So if I was in a town and I wanted to schedule something happening in the next town west, I would have to adjust by a couple of minutes. So time zones streamlined things like that a little bit. Queensland doesn't have daylight savings because it's too close to the equator to need it. Daylight savings time only makes sense at medium latitudes. I will take your word for it. I don't really understand why it makes sense at all. Hi, Rogan and Rogues, joining late and wondering who these two blokes are that have aspirations. What do you mean? It's not Mart and Ian's dreams. Okay, oh gosh. Oh, Mart and Ian's dreams. Be Right UK, I like it. I like it. Points. Swatch internet time that went nowhere. Indeed. Oh gosh. I think that link is broken. I can do better link. There. I actually did look at buying a watch that did swatch internet time back when it was new, but then I didn't because I didn't. I had a lot of swatches back in the day. You actually can get an app for your phone that will tell you beat time. Not everyone starts work at 9 a.m. Wait, not everyone starts work at 9 a.m.? Not everyone is awake at 7 a.m. or goes to bed at 10 p.m.? Wait, the whole world isn't on the same schedule? In Mars society, everyone will work times that suit their temperament. You'd have to be a Minuteman? Okay, I'm enjoying the discussions. France ran on Paris time and used the Paris meridian until relatively recently. About 10 minutes ahead of London. Really? I didn't know that was a recent change. I'm not surprised, but it's France. Paris. Specifically Paris. So Paris used to be like French culture was the epitome of culture. They were like, for a period of history, they were the culture that everyone looked to. So if you imagine in the future when the United States of America is no longer the culture that everyone's looking to, Washington, D.C. still isn't going to want to switch and follow somebody else. They're going to do their own thing. Paris is like that. They used to be the epitome of everything, the people that everyone wanted to copy. So they don't like to follow. If we're talking watch history, we still have the first Timex digital watch to feature. The back glowing Indiglow feature? Amazing. They reluctantly switched to Greenwich Mean Time, and then they were put on Berlin time in World War II. The history of time zones, honestly, the history of longitude and latitude, a lot of it's really fascinating. It really is. I don't know how much stuff we would have in our archives specifically about that kind of stuff, because we don't, it's nowhere near any focus of ours, but it would be interesting to look at stuff if we have it. There's a YouTuber called the Tim Traveler. Oh my God, what a perfect name. Who did a video on the Paris Meridian a couple of days ago. Well, that's timely. I've been getting a set of prints from everyone in our settlement, and anyone else who will agree to leaving their prints on file. Would you allow me to record your fingerprints as well? I think the game wants you to say yes. IRL, I'm like, no, the police don't need my prints. Why do you need my prints? I haven't done anything. But the game expects you to say yes, so I'm going to. He grins and says, good. I shall be prepared in a moment. He takes a small pad of ink and a sheet of fine white paper and sets them out. Taking your hands, he first presses each finger onto the ink pad, then rolls your fingers onto the white paper, leaving an ink copy of your fingerprints. He hands you a cloth, and you wipe your hands clean. He puts the equipment away and places the paper amongst his records. Thank you, Rogan. I appreciate your cooperation. What's funny is I'm fairly certain, just based on context from previous Ultima games, the avatar is like from the 80s or 90s. Like the avatar in this game would be from like 1991 and would know all about fingerprints. Getting a set of prints is not easy. For instance, if I could get a set of prints from the scene of a crime which matched those by the fuse, I would know that the crime had been committed by Rasputin. I'm still collecting evidence on that one. He's definitely not to be trusted, but when I asked about Rasputin, the words you said made it sound like he had already confessed. All right. I have a feeling we're going to need to lift some prints. I don't exactly know how we're going to do that, but I'm going to add that to my... oh gosh, you all had the clue book and not the notes. I'm going to add it to my list of quests. Yes, I am tracking quests in a Word document, not in the game, because honestly, I don't think this game has a way to track them in game, which is weird because the one before this did. Okay, reflectors. These large mirrors were used by Mr. Lowell to send Morse code to observers back on Earth. When they were smashed, we could no longer reply to messages sent by Mr. Tesla. Okay. I say, good day, Rogan. Do drop in again. Map men. I'm not sure what... This is a culture I am missing. I am missing a culture. I don't know Map Man, no. You see a seasoned-looking man. He strides forward to greet you. How do you do? It's a pleasure to meet someone who shares the spirit of exploration. All right, who's this person? Man. Person, man, person, man. And he has exploration. I'm about to have my world rocked. Oh dear. Robert E. Perry. My friends call me Bert, and I wish you would too. Robert Bert E. Perry. Job. Since our arrival on Mars, I have been utilizing my talents in civil engineering to make our stay more comfortable. Exploration. His eyes shine at the mention of the word. Ah, what a thrill, eh? You know, I can think of nothing more fulfilling than discovering the secrets held by those places previously unknown. He turns to look north and says, I have even been to see the polar ice cap north of here. It is not unlike our own Arctic regions on Earth, but without the proper equipment, I'm afraid that my explorations only scratch the surface. Oh wait, am I going to need to get you wintry clothing? Ice cap? Although I was not able to go far into that territory, I did notice that the ice seemed to be irregular, almost sculptured in its formation. From what I saw, I'm certain that the Martians used the ice as a source of water. 500 biddies. Thank you, Be Right UK. Thank you so much. I tried doing civil engineering, but found it difficult to be heard. I tried root engineering and became an approximation of success. Less dangerous than dabbling in uncivil engineering. Oh, I love it. Geography-based series? Ran from 2016 to 2023? Educational entertainment YouTube videos co-presented. Huh. I've never heard of this. I looked up Map Men because I'm that distractible. I've saved it to my YouTube to investigate later. I almost typed add pup points. I do need to fix that command and make it like... I actually had a friend in college who was a geography major. It was one of the oddest majors I had ever encountered anybody having. I had only because I had never thought about that somebody could or would major in geography. But once the idea was there that such a thing was a thing, I actually think it was probably really interesting. Math Man. Hi, Obi-Wan Pez. Please no Math Man. I prefer Person Man or Triangle Man or I don't know. Speaking of, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever talked to you all about Australia and a TV show that I've seen some of because Philip was really into it. A 3-season sitcom called The Librarians. That is not not the TV series that people in the US know. That is called The Librarians. That's like Warehouse 13. That's the Australian TV series, The Librarians. The problem with getting a degree in geography is developing a path to graduation. You've not heard of the Australian TV show The Librarians? I will say it does not paint librarians in a very good light. It's very much a type of comedy that is not necessarily my jam, but it was rated M in New Zealand for offensive language, sexual references, and drug use. Philip really liked it. It's I will say, definitely not afraid to use terminology that here in the US would generally be considered like, what? Anyway. A Working Dog production. The same people who made The Dish and the Castle. Math Man was a bit in Square One TV, a PBS show from the 80s, 90s. I love this. I love that. Oh gosh. I am so distractible, but I am enjoying the distract. So I'm going to read though from the game here. He turns to face you saying, yes, I would wager that water was produced by melting the ice caps. The volume of water would also easily fill the canal system. Oh, we need to melt the ice caps? I imagine once we turn the power back on, that'll be possible. Engineering. That's right, he gestures about, pointing out the features of the building you are in. I have been employed for quite some time by the US Navy as a civil engineer. When we landed, one of my first concerns was to ensure that the buildings used in the settlement were of sturdy construction. I've also been examining the canals and bridges that are scattered about the planet. Ah, so he's here from the Starfleet Corps of Engineers. Or US Navy engineers. It would be Army, but Navy? I never thought about that. Anyway. Wow. Hi. My name's Distract. Their mechanical construction seems quite unusual. If there were any power to operate them, I would like very much to study their design and use. I'm working on the power. It would be interesting to examine the workings of the planet with the power on. There are many things whose function we can only guess without the power to run them. I saw some towers over by the McLaughlin crater that looked like they were built to harness energy. Let's see, that would be about the coordinates of 8 north, 14 west. I think we've probably already seen them, but I'll jot down the coordinates. 500 more bits! Thank you, Beer UK. Did you know they were going to be called the Choir of Engineers, but no one could get them to sing from the same hymn sheet? Corps of Engineers, Choir of Engineers, oh dear. I enjoy wordplay. Where are we? 8 north, 14 west. I do not have that jotted down. Building with tubes. Did I jot down anything near there? No. I don't think I've been there. 10 north, 71 east. 18 north, 111 west. Ah. 8 north, 14 west. powers to harness energy. It took Microsoft Word long enough to learn that when I did bullets up here, I wanted yellow and then white. It eventually learned though. So I'll give it that. Around the countryside, but those are grouped together like a control center. Around the countryside, what? It skipped part of the text. Anyway, there are also the bridges, of course, and the buildings with the tubes coming up into them, which we cannot enter without power. Yeah, those are the transport network. I'm aware of those. We are going to have another 3-minute ad break coming up here in just a moment. No doubt about it, travel would be easier with the power on, and access to certain areas is impossible without it. Did we ask bridges? Yeah, we did. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pop us to the be right back screen. While 3 minutes of ads play, I will come back and do the self-care when I get back. See you all shortly. Hi. Welcome back. Sorry, I know that was a little bit longer than a standard 3-minute break. Let me do my self-care stretches, and I got distracted, unsurprisingly. I actually stood up to go and you know, use the restroom and whatnot, and ended up talking to Philip for a few minutes. So, but hopefully you all got a short break of your own. Okay. Admiral Peary, I asked about the buildings with the tubes in them. Now, for an extra challenge, can you continue the game with your arms over your head? I don't think so. We can do part of it. Because they are located near the major cities, I surmise they are either a transportation system or a communication system. I cannot tell which without a closer inspection, of course. My legs are not flexible enough, especially in this chair, to press any buttons. So I have to lower my arms. There are 4 of the buildings. Where all 4 of them are? Excellent. Excellent. I only had the location of 1. Building with tubes. I had at 1 North and 111 West. There are 4 buildings. Shadows. Exactly. Buildings with tubes. And we'll just update this. He says it's 31 North and 1. Wait. No. Sorry. At 0 North and 109 West, which is roughly where I had marked it. And that is Olympus. Olympus. Olympus? Yes, Olympus. I love that I have done poorly on structure. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. This is fine. 34 South and 64 West is Argyre. See, it's the same pattern, but in a different place. And it's like, I don't know, maybe you don't want those to be yellow. But I do. But I do want them to be yellow. Do you see? Do you see how I'm doing the same formatting everywhere? Sorry. I'm like, it's just Clippy. He's just not showing himself. He's behind the scenes messing things up. 34 South, 72 East is Hellas. I am not a fan of Clippy. And it terrifies me that this Copilot thing that they're putting in Windows is going to be just like Clippy. It's going to be so horrible. Puddlegum has struck from the shadows and landed a critical hit. Great job on your stealthing. Welcome back. Hi. Are you still work lurking? Or are you done with the work part? And done with the lurk part? I just wish that it wasn't compulsory. Their plan is to make it basically an integrated part of the operating system, which I understand from a sort of a design perspective, but it's too new of a technology to force on everybody. I think they need to make it optional for a bit first, but they tried doing that with Cortana and people didn't use it because Cortana sucked. But I'm sick of Microsoft and their extreme aggression in trying to force you to use their products when you're on Windows. Like the periodic pop-up of a thing trying to switch you to Edge if you open Chrome. Clippy's a fan of Clippy? No! You're done with both working and lurking? Sick of tech companies in general and their shady business practices. I am sick of companies in general and their shady business practices. I'm going to bring to mind, or I'm going to quote one of the best things that Amy Dallin ever instantiated. Corporations are bullshit. Farewell. Perhaps we can meet at a later time to discuss your exploits. Okay. Thanks, Cass. Exactly. And she was right. Corporations are bullshit. Searching here, you find 30 rifle rounds and a rifle. Excellent. Amy would double plus agree now. Oh, yeah, after getting laid off by Hasbro. Or Wizards of the Coast. Same difference. I'm gonna take this rifle. I'm gonna use this rifle. Later meat. What? Later meat? What is later meat? Is that like pocket bacon? A place setting. Okay. Thigh boots, a wool sweater, a sheepskin jacket, and cotton pants. Oh, meat later? Later meat. Got it. I didn't follow, but I do now. Is that a hot water bottle? It's a mug. Move the mug. You find a book, a hatchet, 30 pistol rounds, a revolver, and a box of cigars. Well, I don't need the box of cigars. I could use the revolver and the pistol rounds. I don't need the hatchet. I could read the book. The Book of the Sword by Richard Burton. I have only one wish that reader and reviewer can grant, namely, a fair field and no favor for certain advanced views of Egyptology. It is my conviction that this study, still in its infancy, will greatly modify almost all our preconceived views of archaeological history. Little snippets of books. The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. Young and spirited D'Artagnan hopes to join the Queen's Musketeers. Porthos, Athos, and Aramis befriend him, and together they save the Queen's honor. Yeah, it was totally Hasbro that laid all of those people off. It was not Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast had large plans. They were actively in development of various things that needed those people. And it's totally Hasbro that laid them off. You know, back when I was studying philosophy in college, we read that Aristotle thought that an economy built on continuous growth was bad and to be avoided. Young Puddleglum begrudgingly saw his point, and current Puddleglum has to concede his point, without conceding a number of other points he made, ranging from problematic to abhorrent. But yes, indeed, it is impossible to have continuous growth. If the only good is always profit, always increase, that is unsustainable and will eventually fail. We've had market corrections before, which is a downturn in the market because you can't always increase profits. It's not possible. The problem is that they're expected to always increase profits, and sometimes the only way to increase profits is to get rid of people. But so if profits always go up and prices always go up and wages, oh, wait, wages haven't. There's the problem. Fact that wages have been fairly stagnant since the 1970s, but prices and profits have continued to rise. Eventually, you'll price your consumers out of the market. I am not a fan of economics. Incidentally, if you're not a fan of capitalist economics and the effects that they've had on our world, might I recommend reading the Mars Trilogy by Kim Stanley Robinson, where different approaches to alternate forms of economy are discussed, and there are some rather interesting ones. There's philosophy and economics, and oh my gosh, the Mars Trilogy is very good. It is hard science and or hard sci-fi, I mean, and I just reread it at the end of last year. There's also it's available on Audible, and the Audible version is really good. Eco-economics and the gift economy, exactly. Oh, who's my favorite character? Nadia. Nadia and Art, I think, are my two favorites. Nadia and Anne. Oh, Anne is an interesting character. She's too much of an anti-hero for me to really connect fully. But I understand her. Happening with housing here, and I don't even live in big city. Keep building luxury apartments that nobody can afford to live in. Every time there's a local news article about upcoming apartment construction, the comments are littered with, but are they affordable? Paddleglum, that's sort of the way things are here as well. The university keeps over-enrolling, which has led to a housing crunch. And while they keep building new apartments, those new apartments are priced for students to live in. So they're priced at like $600 to $800 a month per bedroom. Which means that if you're not a student, it's very, very, very hard to find a place that's affordable to live. And all of the apartments that are priced so that somebody who's not a student, having their parents pay for things, it could live in, all of those apartments are were built in like the 1970s or before, and are run down, and it annoys the heck out of me that the price I pay goes up every year while the property continues to age and depreciate in value. Like, its state of repair gets worse every year, and yet I pay more for it every year. And there are new apartments in the area that are not for students, but they're restricted to age 65 or older. I think it's for rich people who want to buy apartments close to Lambeau Field. Oh, that makes sense. Just be older, Rogan. Yeah. Like, there were these great, there was this, when I was looking before, there was these lovely apartments that were very modern. It was a converted elementary school that they had turned into apartments, and they were really, really, really nice. And they were affordable. And then I realized they were affordable because they were for retirees. And you couldn't get a lease unless you were over 65 years of age. When I moved into this apartment, we were at right around like $800 a month. And we've been here for I don't remember exactly when we moved. It would have been like 2018. So about 6 years we've been here, and we are surprisingly still not paying $1,000 a month, but almost. We're within like $20 of $1,000 a month, starting with our new lease. And the apartment certainly hasn't gotten better in those 6 years. And I'm reading this book. Manners, Discipline, and Correct Conduct by Mildred Grants. Oh, it's an etiquette book. Yay. Properly starched, the Eton collar should resist folding or bending. Cravats should be tightened so as not to admit a pinky. Sit up straight, hands folded. Sneeze only when alone. Interesting. So you have to know the sneeze is coming and excuse yourself in time to leave the room before sneezing. I mean, Elixir, we work in an archives. I think it's expected that we sneeze all the time. You see a man dressed in the garb of a seaman. Yes, I said seaman. I know you people. I know that if I say seaman, you'll go places with it. He starts, as if interrupted from slumber. What? What do you got? He gazes at you bleary-eyed. Might I have your name, sir? Captain Trivet, ex-merchant marine at your service. I have no idea if, I mean, I'm sure I'm slaughtering that accent, but whatever. Places? Like that under the sea? What? Huh? Down where it's wetter? Under the sea? Slaughtering with confidence, so it's all good. I've never practiced any British accents, so under the sea. Under the sea. Now I have Sebastian in my head. Thanks, Elixir. Inability to type is going to make for horrible D&D note-taking later. Oh yes, we have new D&D games starting tonight. My every 2 week Saturday D&D group is starting a Planescape game. Oh gosh, Wavy Wave, thank you for the follow. Or wait, and also Ninja Cat to activate the Top Lord. Thank you for the follow. Ninja Cat to activate the Top Lord. That is a lengthy name, but it's interesting. Yeah, we're starting a new, we're gonna play Planescape. It's not the official module. It is one that our GM is, like, our GM just made the story, but we're using the glitch mechanic, so we all had to make essentially variants of our character. And so I have 3 variants of my character. Say it 5 times fast. That. There. I could talk about my character in a few minutes. I'm gonna finish talking to Trippet though. Back on Earth. I'm gonna totally like drop the accent now. Back on Earth, I worked as a sailor in the Merchant Marine. I was recruited by Mr. Lowell to operate the canal barges.
Well, that's all right then.
Seemed at the time like it might be interesting work. It's been a dry and dusty couple of years though. Without any water in the canals, my job consists of sitting on my duff and sleeping. Wait, Jeepers. What am I doing wrong? Sort of what I wanted. There, that's better. Don't mind me. I'm just messing with the Word document where I'm taking notes and totally doing it wrong because I got flustered for some reason. Were there any other keywords that I missed? Just canal barges. Okay. You can play the game with, like you can increase the difficulty of the game by turning off the highlight for the keywords. So in conversation, like ultimately it just makes it so the conversations take longer because you have to try various words to see what to ask them about. I prefer, honestly, I would ultimately, it would drag on too long and I would get frustrated and bored. So I leave the highlight on. He glances forlornly out at the sand. They must have been used as a means of transportation, but with no water to fill the canals, they're not much more than ravines. There's so much exposition for things that we already know. He sighs. God, how I wish I'd stayed in Chicago. He looks at you seriously. See, I knew I should drop that that very bad British accent. And turns out he's from Chicago. I'd bet it was green when you left. Ah, well, maybe I'll get back there someday. What? There's something I'm supposed to ask him about. Trippet. I need him to fix the conveyor belt. Can I have him join me? He looks surprised at your request. Thanks for the offer, but I can sleep safe here at Olympus. You can never be too sure of just what might be roaming around outside. Fix. First, I need to see what you want fixed. Once I've looked it over, I can mend it. He waits impatiently as you go through your possessions. He looks at your belongings and smiles. There's nothing I can help you with now. If you find something else, feel free to ask me. Oh my gosh, do I need to pick up the conveyor belt? Maybe he was from the British part of Chicago. I mean, there's nothing to say that somebody from Chicago can't have a British accent. Just look at the oh gosh. I'm literally going to cite this. And it's a bad citation. Just look at the Roseanne television series where Jackie and Roseanne's sister had a British accent. I don't remember what actress played her. I only remember her showing up once, and I remember them razzing her for having a fake accent because she was from Lanford like them. I need to actually go back, get the broken belt, and bring it to Trippet. I had assumed that we needed to bring Trippet to the belt. Apparently, I need to go the other way. You were gonna reference Brennan's Minnesotan accent? I mean, there are a lot of bad accents. If you watch Fargo, which incidentally, Fargo, not located in Minnesota, the entire movie's about Minnesota. And the accent that they do in the movie is not wrong. It's just that they have everybody in Minneapolis using it. And you basically don't hear anybody in Minneapolis with that accent. That accent is more Midwest Minnesota. Like, if you've got north and south, it's like mid, and then it's west. That is not the accent that you would get in the Twin Cities. But who said movies had to be like correct all the time? Like, it's the accent, honestly, that you would get around Fargo in North Dakota, which is right on the border. It's Moorhead, Minnesota. Like, US is wild. You have different accents for everywhere, and here we just kind of have one accent, but South Australia is a little weird. I mean, the US is also gigantic. So regional accents are a thing. And a lot of times they have something to do with which group of settlers settled in the area. So Minnesota tends to have a lot of Nordic ancestry, whereas West Virginia has a lot of Irish ancestry. And so that the Appalachian accent tends to be more influenced by just the speech patterns of the Irish ancestry compared to like Minnesota, where they've got the more often French Canadian and Nordic, mostly coastal as opposed to the US. It's slightly smaller, but it's 6th largest country in the world. So not, yeah, and of course the Mercator projection breaks everything. So I've never actually considered the size of Australia absent the Mercator projection. So I've never accurately seen the size comparison. That was Trippet. Okay, so that's the last building heading north. Did I RP Robert Peary, TR Roosevelt? Okay, yeah, I've done those. So if I head west, I have a giant yeah, I mean, yeah, you have a giant desert in the middle of your country. This is true. USA is 9.834 million kilometers squared, and Australia is 7.688 million kilometers squared. Wow, that is a lot closer in size than I was aware. A dapper gentleman. How do you do? I'll have to ask you to speak up. My hearing isn't very good. He's probably shouting at us. All right, who's this one? Who do we find now? I'm gonna write his name down because I looked. So yeah, the world map that we're typically used to is based on the Mercator projection, and it artificially increases the size of things that are at the poles. And so that's how you end up with Greenland looking like it's the same size as Africa. Which is not accurate. Wow, yeah, okay, so if I look at a Dymaxion, which, if you want to learn about the Dymaxion map, go into the year 3 of Archival Adventures on the University Library's YouTube, which exists again, and look for the R. Buckminster Fuller episode. It's toward the end of the year, but we talk about the Dymaxion there. If I look at the Dymaxion, it's very obvious that Australia and North America are roughly the same in size. Or Australia and the US. North America is a bit bigger when you add in Canada, but Mel Brooks with bad morning hair. Oh no, what happened? What happened? Oh, a link. It was, yeah, it was because it was a link. Yes, the YouTube has returned. I'm very happy. It means less work for me. XKCD number 977 is where you learned about the different map projections. Yeah, there it is. It's fine. It's just that there are bots that will come in and drop links that are not fine, and so link permissions is a controlled thing. All right, so we're gonna have to ask him about his hearing. This is, of course, Thomas Edison. Interestingly, can I get him in the same place as Tesla? I doubt it, but that would be interesting. Oh, first I'm going to ask him his name, just to confirm. Edison. Thomas Alva Edison. He points to his ear. Speak up! I don't know why I gave him any sort of accent at all, but I am an inventor by trade. I have been endeavoring to find some means of restoring the power to our settlement in case it is necessary to finish the construction of our space cannon. Okay. Let's ask him about his hearing. Yes, I had an accident as a youth that severely damaged my hearing. Over the years, it has grown worse and worse. Now I have difficulty hearing anything at all. Please tell you that Alexander Graham Bell isn't in the game. I don't believe so. I don't think he is. Sarah Bernhardt, Buffalo Bill Cody, Calamity Jane, Andrew Carnegie, George Washington Carver, Marie Curie, Wyatt Earp, Thomas Edison, Emma Goldman, the radical anarchist Emma Goldman, William Randolph Hearst, who is the bad guy in the musical Newsies, Nikolai Lenin, Percival Lowell, Georges Méliès, Robert Peary, Grigory Yefimovich Rasputin. Yefimovich. I did not know that was his middle name. Theodore Roosevelt, Louis Comfort Tiffany, Mark Twain, H.G. Wells, Nellie Bly, Dr. C.L. Blood, Sigmund Freud, and Nikola Tesla. After last night's tuna casserole. Oh no, the noodle sadness. Ooh, enchiladas from a local Mexican place is probably a better idea than sad noodles. Let's see. They've got those blasted towers up as though they'd be able to broadcast electricity, just like that whippersnapper Tesla keeps saying. Tesla's here with me. But he's crazy and the towers don't work. I told him. He chuckles, obviously pleased with himself. Blasted things are somewhere over north of Argyre. Peary's seen them. Yes, the big ones scattered about the planet. They are meant to broadcast the power from the central station, I'm sure of it. There are also certain devices that operate by power stored in radium, but they are much less common. Do tell. I have some radium, thanks to Marie Curie. Oh no, it's 6:20 p.m. and we're nearly at the end of our Mars trip for this week. I think I had dinner last night. I have no idea what I had for dinner last night. Huh. I have to remember that now I'm back on the Vyvanse, that I forget to eat. I think I ate. Clearly didn't get poisoned, otherwise you'd remember it. Yeah, this is true. I don't cook. Philip cooks. I'm sure he made something, but I don't remember what. You know, those towers and all that power beamed about the place is probably the very thing that destroyed the Martians. Anything's edible once. This is true. All right. Devices? Yes, the Martians have built some truly fascinating machines. I could nearly spend my entire life trying to understand how they operate. Indeed, the Dream Machine stands out as one of the most unusual that we've encountered. I know all about the Dream Machine thanks to the Elysians, but we'll ask. His eyes light up as he speaks. It was quite beautiful and was full of mystery. I spent as much time trying to determine exactly how it functioned as I could. Before Mr. Siegel had it destroyed, it is utterly unusable now. It's just sitting over there in the building with the fountains out front, just moldering away. A shame it is, a real shame. You should go and talk with Madame Curie about that. I'm not a chemist. Well, thanks for that. I talked to her as soon as I got to town. Good day, Rogan. Thank you for being patient with my poor hearing. If you need, please come talk to me anytime. Okay. Okay. I don't think I have any needs from Edison at this time. I just need Trippett and Carnegie. Those are the two that I actually really needed to find. Oakley dokley. What have we got going on in Edison's place? A Martian spoon, which I have one of, a chisel, a hammer, a small table, a Thomas Edison, a bed. I don't know what Thomas Edison is standing on, but probably just a rug. Nachos or chicken and baked potato. See, we had leftover chicken, but Philip finished that for lunch. I honestly have no clue what I had for dinner. I'm sure we ate. I'm sure of it. We had to have eaten. But the Vyvanse is an appetite suppressant, so it's entirely possible that I completely forgot to eat. Okay, Edison. Number 4 is the stairs to the tunnel. Is there not a way to get in and talk to Jack Siegel? I don't see any doors. It looks like you can't get in to talk to Jack Siegel without coming from the canal. I haven't talked to Sarah Bernhardt yet. There's one building to the south here. It's a ringing endorsement of my husband's cooking. He cooks just fine. I just don't remember what. Oh, no. He didn't cook last night. It's Friday. Last night was Friday, so we ordered. I had poke and bubble tea. It was good. Thread, a needle, an empty jar, and an empty jar. Ooh, I want those jars. I'm stealing from you. You see a beautiful woman with sparkling eyes. She greets you in a voice filled with musicality. Bonjour! Please excuse my accent. I have not spoken much English before I come here. Looking you in the eyes, she says, my name is Sarah Bernhardt. And that was a truly mangled accent. Yes, it was. Bernhardt. I assume French based on saying bonjour, but I actually don't know. Job. Job? I believe you mean what I do. My job, indeed my life, has always been the stage. I am an actress, but not on Mars. I have tried to perform to entertain mes amis here in our settlement, but of late I have found more relaxation in pursuing my interests in sculpture and painting. I didn't know Sarah Bernhardt was French. Oui, there is much beauty in the works left by the Martians. It is very sad to think that they have passed on. She looks sad and says, "It is a very great tragedy of their loss. I wish that there was some means of saving their race." Hey. Considering that I think we have to do that in order to finish the game, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. She indicates a room. I have very few equipments to use, but I have found that I can still render the beauty of the Martian landscape, even with the few colors I have available. I'm guessing this will give us the same as Martians. Yeah. So colors. Like the old masters, I have gathered berries to crush and make the pigments for my painting. I have found the berries in Argyre to be the most brilliant. Of course, I cannot get to them now. That evil man Rasputin has closed the city to all traffic. Berries? Okay, but I have berries. Do you need berries? Join me. She smiles and says, "No, I do not want to leave my friends here that I have made here at Olympus." Okay, fine. Au revoir, Rogan. Please do come again. Oakley dokily. What is your book? Shakespeare's sonnets. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun, and yet, by God, I think my love is rare, as any she belied by false compare. I've never read the Shakespeare sonnets, so I even took an entire class in Shakespeare and I've never read the sonnets. Ladies' gloves, or ladies' silk gloves, a cotton dress, a man's shoes, and a man's shoes. A derringer, driving gloves, a woman's shoes, a wool dress, and ladies' silk gloves. There's some matches. Can I move? Man, that's dangerous. Weed killer, and weed killer. We'll leave that for her. All right. I don't think there's any way into this room at the top. And also it is time for me to be ending, but oh, maybe there is. Can I open the gates? The gates open wide. Okay, so that's just access to the canal then. And this is who we'll start with next time. Jack Siegel, who's apparently in charge of this place. Save game, yes. Well, we didn't make quite as much progress as probably I had anticipated, but it's fine because we've just been talking the whole time, which I enjoy. But I do need to be going because I'm going to need to pick up groceries from the grocery store soon, and then I need to have foods and prepare for starting a brand new Planescape game where we're playing with glitch characters, which is a mechanic in the Planescape module apparently, where it's sort of like the Loki variants, where basically the same character but not. So I will be starting tonight with an Owlkin Ranger, and my two variants are a Plasmoid Druid and a GIF Paladin. It'll be fun. Human Economist, it was great having you here. I hope that we'll see you again. My schedule, the next stream I do is Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And it's March. And I said that for the month of March, I would spin the wheel. So I don't know what I'm playing on Monday. We'll find out at the beginning of stream. And then after March, when we hit April, we'll go back to Return to Monkey Island. But for the month of March, Monday night is gonna be random. I'm gonna spin the wheel. Wednesdays, I stream from the archives at Virginia Tech, and we look at things because it'll be the first week of March, the first Wednesday of March. We will be returning to the Philip Peltz Journal. Peltz was the chief engineer of a ship in the Union Army, or the Union Navy, sorry, during the American Civil War. And his journal was written during the blockade of the South, while they were trying to hunt and kill a Confederate ironclad, and it's been really interesting so far. And then we'll be back to Martian Dreams next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that is the plans. Thank you so much, Stephen Joyce, for the resubscription. Thank you to my new followers, Ninja Cat, to Active the Top Lord, Even Economist, and Wavy Wave, and of course Figure Out UK. Thank you so much for the bits. Thank you to my mods for being here and helping me. Let me see. I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we've been. So let me see who's on. Bree's on doing art. There's some world building D&D happening. Robert Hartley. Kabakashi Viva Land, or David Blue's doing Helldivers. Jeff's doing, you know, I don't know. As I lose the ability to speak, I think we will pop over to Bree, just because Bree's good people, and Bree is looks like working on one of her pinup calendar drawings again this week. Bree is an artist. Bree did all of my stream art, as well as like my profile picture for stuffs. So we'll pop on over and say hi to her. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hopefully you can join me for the raid if you want to drop in with the raid. I do have a raid call. You can copy paste. It comes in both subscriber and non-subscriber flavors. So go ahead and copy those. Also, just because now I know I can, shout out to Stephen Joyce. Please follow Stephen Joyce. I waited and I waited, and they finally let me do it. But thank you all so much for joining me. I hope I see you all again soon. Until I do, get out there and do some shenanigans.